Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopina Shama Radha Kunda Giri Garavadam Ki Jai Vrindavandam Ki Jai Mathuradam Ki Jai Navadvip Mayapudam Ki Jai Jagannath Puridam Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganges Mai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande all glorious assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glory to Shishi Guru Shri Gauranga. Namam Vishnu Padya Krishna Pritai Bhutala Shrimati Bhakti Tirtha Shakti Namaste. Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Shitan Mana Shri Gaura Karana Shakti Bhakti Tirtha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Divin Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Nashta Praesha Vadresu Ityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttama Sukhi Bhakti Bhavati Nashtihi Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanandjana Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Shrapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Padayam Padati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Tapadakam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vikram Sajiva Sadvitam Savaduta Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Pali Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandha Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasute Taptakam Chana Goram Radhe Vanda Panishwar Vrishavam Siti Devi Anumam Hadi Priya Vanchaka Kataru Gascha Chaka Sundagaye Vacha Patitana Pavanyo Vaishnaviyo Namo Namah Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Hare Krishna. No need. It's okay. We just spoke in the morning. It's already spoken.
Introduction in the morning.
Yeah, it's already done. No.
Chapter I was thinking. Chapter was mentioned. Start now.
I guess start.
Yes.
Where we reach in this. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we going to look at activities of one of our great devotees, Dhruva Maharaj. So I'm going to go through the verses. We'll go through the verses like that. This is what I'm going to do. And look at what Prabhupada say in purport. And how these things will relate to us. How we will benefit from we are studying this. So we're going to look at that. We'll begin from chapter 8 of the 4th canto. Dhruva Maharaj leaves home for the forest. Chapter 8. In this chapter 8, we will hear how Dhruva was pierced by the sharp, poisonous words of his stepmother. And also how he was inspired by the sweet word of his own mother. The two things are here. It is very, very good for devotees to have both sides. It should be appreciated, and there is a need also for chastisement. Both are important. To be glorified only is dangerous, and to be condemned only is also dangerous. Both should go together, so they will balance. We see that balance in the life of Dhruva. His stepmother pierced his heart with sharp arrows, and he was very disturbed. His mother pacified him and inspired him. As a result of that, he performed great austerity and satisfied the Supreme Personality of God. So harsh words can be negative, it can be positive, according to how we see it. Harsh words is like you stone somebody. Nobody likes it. To get the stone is painful. That's harsh word. It's a stone. But it was the harsh word that made Dhruva what he is today. Not the soft word, not the lotus flower. The lotus flower didn't change him. It's the stone on his body that changed him and made him so glorious that we are sitting here to hear about him. This is what we get in this chapter. The harsh word of his stepmother, inspiring word of his own mother, inspired him to perform heavy austerity. The result of the austerity, he got Krishna. He satisfied the Krishna by his austerity. And he got Krishna. And he became so glorious that we can hear about him and also get purified. That is the introduction to this chapter 8. Text 1. Maitreya Vacha Sanakadya Nara Dascha Ribu Hamsoru Nirijati Naite Ham Brahma Sutta Yava San Urudras Predasa. The great sage Maitreya said, the four great Kumara sages, headed by Sanaka, as well as Narada, Ribu, Hamsa, Aruni, and Yati, all sons of Brahma, did not live at home, but became Urudhvareta, or Nastika Brahmacharis, unadulterated celibates. The sons of Manu are described, and the sons of Brahma are also described here. Uh, so in this first sloka, the importance of semen is very, very clearly described, and the life of a brahmacharya is explained. Prabhupada said here, they are called Urdhva-retasa, those who lift up, Urdhva-retasa, lift up. Brahmachari semen is raised to the head. It's not left here. If you leave it here, it will go down, and it's a waste. So brahmachari are trained to raise the semen to the head, and that is part of yoga exercise. To do that, the heel of our left foot, the heel of our left foot, it used to block the anus. You have to sit erect. Use the heel to block the anus. And then the right is placed on top of the lap. So you suck up. Like this exercise, the semen will come to the head. One becomes very, very strong. Memory becomes strong. Our willpower becomes very strong. Determination becomes very strong. So that practice is there. This time we not emphasize, but that is the practice. Semen is so important that if by the yogic process one can lift the semen up to the brain, he can perform wonderful work. One's memory is enabled to act very swiftly, and the duration of life is increased. Yogis can thus perform all kinds of austerity with the steadiness and be elevated to the highest professional stage, even to the spiritual world. Vivid examples of brahmacharis who have accepted this principle of life are the four sages, Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatan, and Sanat Kumara, as well as Narada and others. This is one side of it. This is one side. The Pandavas are not brahmacharis. They are householders. But if you see very carefully, you will see that Krishna lived with them in the palace and not with the sages in the forest who are trying to raise the semen to the head. Krishna didn't stay in the forest with them. Krishna stayed in the forest with the Pandavas, who does not practice this system. What is the difference? Is their love they have for Krishna superior to this. So Hanuman told Narada Muni mentioned here, one of the Nastika Brahmachari, Hanuman told him, I am a brahmachari, Hanuman. I'm a brahmachari. You're a brahmachari. See, these four Kumaras are brahmacharis. but we are inferior to the Pandavas. We are inferior to the Pandavas. So don't think less of the Pandavas because of their love for Krishna is superior to all of us. I worship Lord Ramachandra. You worship Narayan. The Kumaras also the same thing, Lord Vishnu. But the Pandavas, who do they worship? Krishna. So they are superior to us. So while we are trying to practice our bhakti, we shouldn't forget the goal. We should know what is the goal. The goal and the process of achieving that goal is very, very important. Not just the formula. The formula is to take us to the goal, or we use a vehicle to take us to destination. But we should know the goal and how to approach it. So Hanuman told Namudi, don't be proud of being a brahmachari. You should not minimize the Pandavas because they are householders. See, Krishna is staying in their palace because of their love. They captured Krishna with their love. So if we want to be superior to all other processes of bhakti, we should practice loving Krishna. If we practice loving Krishna, everything else becomes very easy to follow. Because raising the semen to the head is not the goal. It's just the formula to help us be dedicated to what we do. And that can also make one very proud. So Hanuman was telling Radhamani this. Let us be very careful so we don't offend the Pandavas, thinking them to be householders. We are strong brahmacharis. In other words, we shouldn't minimize anybody. In our Krishna concept, shouldn't minimize anybody. We should learn to appreciate. There is a division. So we should learn to appreciate everyone. At the same time, we focus on the good and know why we are doing the certain things which we do. We should know the goal. Another significant phrase here is Naite Grihan Hi Avasa. They did not live at home. Grihan means home as well as wife. In fact, home means wife. Home does not mean a room or a house. One who lives with a wife lives at home. Otherwise, sannyasi or brahmachari, even though they may live in a room or in a house, does not live at home. That they did not live at home means that they did not accept a wife. And so, there was no question of their discharging semen. Semen is meant to be discharged when one has a home, a wife, an intention to beget children. Otherwise, there is no injunction for discharging semen. These principles were followed from the beginning of creation, and such brahmacharis never created progeny. My Trimony is discussing this here because he is preparing us. He is preparing us to enter into it from ignorance to goodness. He is preparing us to enter there. That's why he's discussing it here. We will start discussing directly about Dhruva Maharaj, but he's giving the history. This is the history before entering into the real topic, which is Dhruva Maharaj leaving home, the reason why he left home, and what he did, and how he left home. We will look at that. How did he leave home? Which also to help us to understand how did we come to Krishna consciousness. You see how Dhruva Maharaj lived for Krishna consciousness. So we can also see. We'll see how he lived home, how we lived our own to come to Krishna consciousness. It has effect in what we are doing. It has effect in what we are doing. How we came to Krishna consciousness has effect. Matrimony continued. Another son of the Brahma was irreligion, whose wife's name was falsity. From their combination were born two demons named Damba, or bluffing, and Maya, or cheating. These two demons were taken by a demon named Niriti, who had no children. It is understood here that Adharma, irreligion, was also a son of Brahma, and he married his sister, Brisa. Why Maitreya is speaking this to Vidura? What he's telling, how is he speaking this? He is indirectly telling Vidura that these personalities, Damba, Maya, they are irreligion. But persons like you, you destroy irreligion. So a devotee should live a life which is a destruction for irreligion. How do we do that? How do we live a life which is destroying religion? By our following strictly the principle of Krishna consciousness and presenting Krishna consciousness as pure as it is, it destroys irreligion. It helps people to understand what is religion and distinguish from irreligion, and people will follow what is religion. So that is the position of Vidura. Vidura lives a saintly life, and his teachings are powerful. So he's telling him, you destroy irreligion. So I'm speaking this for you. This is the beginning of sex life between brother and sister. This unnatural combination of sex life can be possible in human society only where there is a dharma or irreligion. Vidura didn't live a religious life. He lived a religious life. These days it is practice. The brother and sister getting married is irreligion. It's not allowed in the Vedas. Some people do it. The Chinese do it. They have this kind of life. But the Vedic culture does not allow this principle, this process. So this unnatural combination of sex life can be possible in human society only where there is a dharma or irreligion. It is understood that in the beginning of creation, Brahma created not only saintly sons like Sanaka, Sanatan, and Narada, but also demonic offspring like Niriti, Adharma, Damba, and falsity. Everything was created by Brahma in the beginning. Regarding Narada, it is understood that because his previous life was very pious and his association very good, he was born as Narada. Otherwise, and others were also born in their own capacities according to their backgrounds. The law of karma continues birth after birth, and when there is a new creation, the same karma comes back with the living entities. They are born in different capacities according to karma, even though their father is originally Brahma, who is the exalted qualitative incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are all born in this material according to our previous karma. It is not a mistake that we are in a situation where we are. Whatever is our present situation, it is not caused by somebody. It is caused by our own activities in the previous life that has brought us to where we are now. So, a knowledgeable person, a person who has a knowledge in our scriptures, will act differently. So we see pure devotees, they don't respond to a situation the same way common people respond because they have the knowledge. They know that whatever is my present situation is not caused by somebody, it is caused by myself. That was the realization of Avanti Brahmana, in the 11th canto, Avanti Brahmana. He gave a powerful realization. Nobody is responsible for my suffering, not the demigods, not my parents, not the other living entities, not even time. Time is not even responsible, not even the demigods. I am responsible for what is happening to me. They have this knowledge. Therefore, according to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, sadhu does not increase their karma. Sadhus burn off their karma by accepting whatever happens willingly, without retaliating, without trying to justify the situation. The sadhu doesn't do that. They accept everything. And then they allow it to happen because it is a payoff. The payoff, they're free. They're free from that. Because of knowledge that help one to see things in a proper way. Intelligent person will never blame anyone for an misfortune. Just like we don't see somebody blaming anybody for our good fortune. We only blame people for our misfortune. But the good ones, we accept it. We do. In reality, we are responsible for both the bad and the good. We are all responsible for it. Like we mentioned before, Krishna does not make mistake. So he arranged everything perfectly according to our karma. So Papa mentioned. So it is good for us to Prabhupada mentioned in the above verses from Prabhupada mentioned that when we are suffering, we are paying off our debt. And when we are enjoying, we are also exhausting our piety. So it's better to pay off the debt and be free. So we can have a better opportunity for Christian consciousness. We should understand this. If we are having some difficulties, we should be happy. I'm paying off my debt. So become free eventually. If we are having palatable, wonderful time, we should know we are exhausting our piety. It is good for us to pay off and increase the piety so that it will not be exhausted. In this way, one should be very, very happy and accept all challenges as Krishna's mercy for us to pay off the debt so we can be free. Maitreya told Vidura, "O great soul, from Dhamba and Maya, we are born greed and nitkriti or cunning. From their combination came children named Krodha, anger, and Hamsa, envy. And from their combination were born Kali and his sister Druti, harsh speech. See the prelude to enter into what happened to is a prelude. Harsh words is demon. Greed is a demon. Anger is a demon. Envy is a demon. And Bhakti calls these armed robbers. Yeah, armed robbers. Robbers. Armed. So point a gun to rob you. These demonic personalities, they rob off of our bhakti, our Christian consciousness. If one get angry, we burn out the piety that the devotion which we are practicing. Or if you envy, we also burn off our piety. So these demons should be carefully avoided. We should pray to Lord Krishna to help us remove these demons so that we can be successful in our Christian consciousness. So Sukadeva Goswami gave blessings, and anyone who hears this 3 times, anyone who hears this 3 times, will kill all these demons. 3 times. It's difficult? Only 3 times. Only 3. If you read these few verses 3 times, you'll be free from these demons. O greatest of all good men, by the combination of Kali and harsh speech were born children named Mrityu, death, and Biti, fear. From the combination of Mrityu and Biti came children named Yatana, excessive pain, and Iraya, hell. My dear Vidura, I have summarily explained the causes of devastation. One who hears this description 3 times attains piety and washes the sinful combination from his soul. If a person is pious and hears about the causes of devastation, he will feel hatred for all this. And that will cause his advancement in a life of piety. Piety refers to the process of cleansing the heart. As recommended by Lord Chaitanya, one has to cleanse the dust from the mirror of the mind, and then advancement on the path of liberation begins. Here also the same process is recommended. Malam means contamination. We should learn to despise all these causes of devastation, beginning from irreligion and cheating. And then we shall be able to make advancement in the life of piety. The possibility of our attaining Krishna consciousness will be easier, and we shall not be subjected to repeated devastation. The present life is repeated birth and death, but if we seek the path of liberation, we may be saved from repeated suffering. So let us repeat this 3 times every day. We will be free from the process of devastation. That means you will conquer death. We will transcend death. We'll be free from anger, we'll be free from lust, we'll be free from envy, we'll be free from the fear or excessive pain and anxiety. We're free from all these unnecessary things that have nothing to do with the soul. Due to the misuse of our freedom, we have become connected with this through false ego. The false ego connected with the body. And whatever happened to the body, we also suffer for it, which is unnecessary. So here we have the remedy to get free from unnecessary things. Maitreya continued, O base of the Kuru dynasty, I shall now describe before you the transcendence of Swayambhuva Manu, who was born of a part of a plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Brahma is a powerful expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although Brahma is Jiva Tattva, he is empowered by the Lord, and therefore he is considered a plenary expansion of the Supreme Godhead. Sometimes it happens that when there is a suitable living being, when there is no suitable living being to be empowered to act as Brahma, the Supreme Lord himself appears as Brahma. Brahma is the plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so Swayambhuva Manu was the direct son of Brahma, the great sage. Maitreya is now going to explain about the descendant of this Manu, of all of whom are widely celebrated for their pious activities. So Maitreya Muni first explained the inauspicious. Now you're going to go to the auspicious one. Before speaking of these pious descendants, Maitreya has already described the descendant of impious activities, representing anger, envy, unpalatable speech, quarrel, fear, and death. Purposely, therefore, he is next relating the history of the life of Dhruva Maharaj, the most pious king within this universe. Now we begin. Swayambhuva Manu had two sons by his wives, Satarupa, and the names of the sons were Uttanapad and Priyabrata. Because both of them were descendants of a plenary expansion of Bahasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they were very competent to rule the universe, to maintain and protect the citizens. King Uttanapada had two queens named Suniti and Suruchi. Suruchi was much more dear to the king. Suniti, who had a son named Dhruva, was not his favorite. We want to imitate Krishna, but we cannot do as Krishna does his things. We cannot. We cannot, because we are not Krishna. Krishna married thousands of wives. He was not partial to anyone. Dhanapad Maharaj only two. He is partial. That is our contaminated nature. Krishna is equal to all. But here we see that Uttanapad Maharaj is not equal to his two wives. What's the meaning of Uttanapad? What's the meaning? Uttanapad. Uttanapad. Anyone knows? Uttanapad. What's the meaning? Never thought of it. What's the meaning of Uttanapad? First time you're getting the question? Uttanapad. Okay. His brother, Priyabrata. They're very powerful. Of the two, who is greater? Priyavrata and Tanapat, who is greater? Priyavrata. Priyavrata is greater. Tanapada means one who goes backwards, not forward. See, he is thinking this way. He doesn't think forward. Priyavrata, he's thinking forward. So he is more saintly than his brother. And we can also see in activities. So this is the beginning of Dhruva Maharaj leaving home. We have already discussed a harsh word, which is demon. Which is demon. The great sage Maitreya wanted to describe the pious activities of the kings. Priyavrata was the first son, Sambhava Maharaj, and Uttanapat was the second. But the great sage Maitreya immediately began to speak of Dhruva Maharaj, the son of Uttanapat, because Maitreya was very eager to describe pious activities. Devotees are very, very eager to speak about Krishna, to talk about devotees. They're very eager to speak about devotees. As devotees. Very enthusiastic to speak about devotees, because if we speak about devotees, we get a lot of bliss. There's bliss in speaking about devotees, to glorify Krishna, to speak about devotees. It brings bliss. So devotees are interested, and also devotees are not interested to speak about nonsense things. So he's eager to speak about Dhruva Maharaj, which is very important. We should hear about pure devotees. If you hear about pure devotees, you will get all their qualities. If you hear, you will get all their wonderful qualities and become like them. By hearing the activities of pious Dhruva, one can enhance one's faith in God and can directly connect with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And thus, one can very soon, excuse me, be elevated to the transcendental platform of devotional service. The example of Dhruva Maharaj's austerities can immediately generate a feeling of devotional service in the heart of the hearers. This is Dhruva Maharaj. So pure that if you hear about him, hear about his austerities, there's purification. There's purification. To hear about activities of pious Dhruva, what happened? One can enhance one's faith in Krishna. Our faith in Krishna will increase. So if you want to develop faith, how do we build our faith? To hear about devotees, to hear about devotees, to hear about Krishna, our faith will increase. Because they have faith. So we get all their qualities if you hear about pure devotees. So my ceremony is very eager to speak about Dhruva Maharaj. Ekada suruche putram ankam aropya lalayan utamam narurukshantam durvam attabhyam. Once upon a time, King Uttanapad was patting the son of Suruchi, Uttam, placing him on his lap. Dhruva Maharaj was also trying to get on the king's lap, but the king did not very much welcome him. Why he did not welcome Dhruva Maharaj? After all, Dhruva Maharaj is the senior. Why he didn't welcome Dhruva Maharaj? And both of them are his sons. He is afraid of Suruchi, his pet wife. He knew very well that he is controlled by his wife. So he cannot say anything or cannot do anything which will displease her. Because if he displeases her, she will deny him or what? Self gratification. She will deny him. Men who are very attached to the wife, because of self gratification, they can tolerate anything done by the wife. Anything they can tolerate because of self gratification. Not because they are tolerant, but because of self gratification, they can tolerate anything, including insult. They do that. So Uttanapad Maharaj was controlled by his youngest wife. Therefore, he did not allow his first son, who's supposed to be by right, is supposed to be the king after him. So a responsible king gives importance to who is going to take over from him. Every responsible leader always look among all the devotees, among all the subjects, who is responding to the teachings, who is responding to the training. The duty of the leaders to discover them, to pick those who are responsible disciples and invest in them all the necessary things, because they are going to represent the king after him. It is done materially, it is also done spiritually. And if you look at our scripture, you see all the kings, they do this. Somebody to represent them is the priority. We don't consider somebody to be powerful, to be first class, to be important, just because of the person's ability to rule and make things happen. No. How many people you are making pure like yourself, who are going to take over from you? That is how we judge a responsible leader. He also making other leaders like him. If you cannot make other leaders, our management is a failure. We have to make other leaders. Then we are considered successful. So Papa said that if I can make one person a pure devotee, I will consider my attempt a success. That is the real concern of all responsible leaders. They want to have somebody to represent them. They work very hard for that. And for such react, if they don't see, they are ready to marry millions of wives like Chitraketu. We think of him as a saint gratifier, but actually he is doing the duty as a king. He must have somebody to represent him, and they're ready to do whatever it takes to do that. So when we hear millions of wives, we should know this is what he's doing, not just because he needed many wives for self-education. Dasharat Maharaj, he performed serious austerity. So Swayambhu is Dasharat Maharaj, and Satarupa is Kausalya. He performed heavy austerity and Amisharanya to become Dasharat Maharaj in Kausalya, to have Lord Machanya as their son. Uttanapad Maharaj is attached to his wife. What is wrong with attachment is that we forget to do what is right. That's the difficulty with the problem with attachment. We will fail to do what is proper when we become attached to something. Therefore, he did not allow Dhruva Maharaj to climb on his life like his other son, who has already climbed there. He's sitting there. It is natural for children that mm, they want to follow what they do, each other. They do. But Yashoda will not make a dress for Krishna and Balaram separately. She will make the same dress for both of them, so they don't fight. She's a responsible person. Even though they are not twins, this is done with twins. But Krishna and Balaram, they are not twins, but Yashoda does that from experience. She will make the same dress for both of them. So they are always peaceful together, appreciating each other. So Uttanapada Maharaj did not do like this. While the child Dhruva Maharaj was trying to get on the lap of his father, Suruchi, his stepmother, became very envious of the child because she is already envious of, no, not the child, the mother. Her co-wife. She's envious of her own co-wife. Therefore, that envy is transferred to the son. And with great pride, she began to speak so as to be heard by the king himself. This is a problem. A person who is attached to sense gratification has no decency in his life. There's no decency in his life. Will not be able to do what is proper. Will always act whimsically. Will not answer to way that everybody benefit. He will be partial. So she's not only speaking to Dhruva Maharaj, she was speaking to her husband also. You should know, you should also hear the man controlling. This is pride, the false ego. When a conditioned soul is elevated, the next thing is to ride on the horse. Means pride, false ego. False ego will become our director. So she's very, very proud of being the favorite of the husband. If a woman understands that her husband regards her as a favorite, and is especially even in such and is especially affectionate to her, she takes undue advantage. These symptoms are visible even in such an elevated society as a family of Swami man. Therefore, it is concluded that the feminine nature of woman is present everywhere. She continued. Queen Suruchi told Dhruva Maharaj, "My dear child, you do not deserve to sit on the throne or on the lap of the king. Surely you are also the son of the king, but because you did not take your birth from my womb, you are not qualified to sit on your father's lap." She's telling Dhruva Maharaj, you should die and take birth in my womb. That is your qualification to sit on the throne. You are not going to inherit the throne of your father, even though you are the first child. I will make sure that your father will not make you the king after him. My child will be the king after him, not you. Because I'm the one controlling, not your mother. So you should die and take birth in my womb. That is a qualification to sit on your father's lap or to inherit the kingdom. Queen Suruchi was very proud, very proudly informed Dhruva Maharaj that to be the king's son was not the qualification for sitting on the lap or throne of the king. Rather, this privilege was dependent on one's having taken birth from her womb. In other words, she indirectly informed Dhruva Maharaj that although he happened to be born of the king, he was considered an illegitimate son because of his birth from the womb of the other queen. So Dhruva Maharaj had these harsh words, like a stone on his face. He's a Kshatriya. Of course, he has a double life. In his previous life, he's a good Brahman. He was a very, very good Brahmana. And because he appreciated when he visited the palace, he appreciated the prince's life. So he was demoted. Instead of, as a Brahmana, the next thing is to become a Vaishnava. That's the next stage, to become a Vaishnava. But he was demoted to become a Kshatriya instead of being a Vaishnava. He came down as a Kshatriya. But the quality was still there. So he has that Brahmanical quality and also has a Kshatriya quality with him. And he applied both of them in his Krishna consciousness. So this is the insult that Dhruva Maharaj got from his stepmother. Whatever happened to a devotee is not a problem. How we respond to it is a problem. How do we respond to what happens to us? That is the problem. The problem is not what has happened. What has happened, it is okay. It is to check where we are. It's to check where we are. So Prabhupada said, everything we're doing will be tested. Everything we're doing in Krishna consciousness will be tested. When are we going to be tested? At the time of challenge, when we are confronted with a heavy challenge, that's going to be tested. So our response to every situation will determine where we are in our Krishna consciousness, as you were mentioning this morning. The Dhruva Maharaj was spoken to in this way by his stepmother. So how did Dhruva Maharaj respond to this? He was so angry that his lips were trembling, and he can experience it. The fire was coming up from his eyes, but he did not respond to the mother, the stepmother. He didn't vent his anger on his stepmother. His stepmother offended him. He didn't vent his anger on her. Instead, Dhruva Maharaj quietly left there and came to his mother without anger. A person who has done something wrong to us is an instrument, not the cause. A person who has slapped me is an instrument, not the cause of my slap. Who is the cause of the slap? Huh? The self. How? I have not slapped you before. How can you say I cause it? I have not slapped you. How can I say I cause it? How? How did I do that? am I the cause of my slap? Somebody slapped me and you're telling me that I'm responsible for that. How am I responsible? Did I slap myself? Am I slapping myself? Somebody slapped me. So how can you say that I'm responsible for it? How did I do that? Huh? Huh? I did in past life. Okay, thank you. But I've forgotten. How do I know that? I can't remember I did anything like that. I didn't remember I did anything like that. Where's the proof? Where's the proof that I did it? You're just telling a lie against me. But how did I know? Where's the proof that I did that? Hmm? Where's the proof? Tell me. Yes. Huh? Oh, okay. Thank you. Faith in the Shastra. Very good. What else? I don't know them. I don't know them. I don't know them. Oh, very good. Very good. There's only people here. Why did you slap only me? I didn't slap everybody. Very good. Very good. Yes. Very good. What else? Very good. I agree with you. What else? Something more?
After slapping the other person, is not displeased. After slapping the other person is not displeased. It is some remorse. So it's my thing also.
It's not displeased. It's okay now. You'll not be displeased now. Because he did it purposely. So you not be displeased now. You're happy. Be happy that I slapped him. No, nothing happened to me. Nothing happened. You be happy? Yes.
Because actually everything that I have not done, but he's slapping me. So everything that the Lord I have not known
Yeah. Thank you. This way philosophy comes. The philosophy comes in that there's karma and the reincarnation. So it is there. Even if I have forgotten. You know, when you borrow money from somebody, very easy. Very easy. After some time, to pay back. It's easy. You forget it. You forget it that you borrowed money from somebody. I even pray the person is there, so it will come and remind me about it. Especially if the money is very big. Very difficult to pay. So yes, you're all correct. That we have done something that warranted somebody to come and pay me back. We already mentioned that Bhakti says what they say is sadhu should not increase our karma. We should let it go. We pay it off. So it is gone. So we should not be concerned with the instrument. The person slapped me in the instrument. The cause is myself. Because I have done it in a past life. So I'm getting it now. Dhruva Maharaj, with his Brahmanical knowledge, he knows that the harsh word of my stepmother is not just her fault. So he was not angry with her. He left, looking for the solution. Looking for the solution. So he came to his mother. Young came to his mother. And mother gave him a very, very powerful, wonderful instruction. When he came to his mother with that anger, in fact, he was not able to speak when he came. He's a housemaid who witnessed everything. started speaking to Dhruva Maharaj, Mother, Suniti. Yes. So Suniti had everything. And she responded, "My dear child, you are unaware that you were born not of my womb, but of another woman." She Suniti is speaking. Therefore, you should know that your attempt is doomed to failure. You are trying to fulfill a desire which is impossible to fulfill. These are ignorance. This is her ignorance. An intelligent person should not say cannot be done. Only a foolish person will say that it cannot be done. It can be done if we have the mercy of Krishna. Anything can be done. She's speaking foolishly because of her false pride. Talking to Dhruva Maharaj. Intelligent person should not tell someone, "I will beat you." Say, "I will fight you." Not that I will beat you, because you don't know. You don't know what is behind the person. One day, Sparrow asked a Varuna to return her egg. "Who are you?" Nonsense. But did he say like that to Garuda? When Garuda came, he didn't say that. Immediately he returned the egg back. He said it because he doesn't know what is behind the sparrow. That's foolishness. So he's speaking foolishly because he does not know what is behind Dhruva Maharaj. If you at all desire to rise to the throne of the king, then you have to undergo severe austerities. First of all, you must satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. And then, when you are favored by him because of such worship, you shall have to take your next birth from my womb. Dhruva Maharaj had all this. They said, Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidura, as a snake, when struck by a stick, breathed very heavily. Dhruva Maharaj, having been struck by the strong words of his stepmother, began to breathe very heavily because of great anger. When he saw that his father was silent and did not protest, he immediately left the palace and went to his mother. Dhruva Maharaj looked up to his father. "You are hearing what my stepmother is saying." Uttanapad Maharaj did not look at Dhruva Maharaj. He turned his face away. That pained him also. 2 arrows were shot from the stepmother and from the father. At least he was seeking for solace that his father is supposed to at least pacify him, say some kind word, even if he didn't allow him to climb there because of the attachment he has for his wife. But he should have said something to the boy who is agitated, very disturbed. He did not respond. He turned his face away from Dhruva Maharaj. When he saw that, from here, this harsh words and here disappointment became disturbed. And he went to his mother. When Dhruva Maharaj reached his mother, his lips were trembling in anger, and he was crying very grievously. Queen Suniti immediately lifted her son onto her lap, while the palace residents, who had heard all the harsh words of Suniti, related everything in detail. Thus, Suniti also became greatly aggrieved. This incident was unbearable to Suniti's patience. She began to burn as if in a forest fire. And in her grief, she became just like a burnt leaf and so lamented. As she remembered the word of her co-wife, her bright lotus-like face filled with tears, and thus she spoke. When a man is aggrieved, he feels exactly like a burnt leaf in a forest fire. Suniti's position was like that. Although her face was as beautiful as a lotus flower, it dried up because of the burning fire caused by the harsh words of her co-wife. This is a wisdom from Suniti. This is a wisdom. She also was breathing very heavily, and she did not know the factual remedy for the painful situation. Not finding any remedy, she said to her son, this is a wisdom from Suniti. My dear son, don't wish for anything inauspicious for others. Anyone who inflicts pains upon others suffers himself from that pain. We should not wish others bad, because whatever we offer to other people must surely come back. In other words, we are not doing anyone anything. We are simply doing ourselves. Whatever we wish others. So somebody has said something which disturbs us, or have done something which disturbs us. If we continue to think negatively about the person, we are simply injuring ourselves. We are just destroying ourselves. Like keeping grudge or malice for somebody. The person who has said that thing must have forgotten, but you are carrying the fire in the hand. The person will not be burnt. It is you who is carrying the fire will be burnt. Therefore, we should always wish others good. We should not think ill about anybody. Because by thinking ill about somebody, it will come back, because we have sent a message out. It will come back. The result will come back to us. We will suffer the same thing. So Trinity said, do not wish anyone inauspicious things. Don't wish anyone bad. Because whatever we wish others must come back to us. We think very bad about somebody who has said something about us. But that energy we are sending must come back. This is a wisdom which we shouldn't forget. It should help us to always remember to keep ourselves always pure. That's the importance of studying the scriptures, to help us remain pure always, because the scripture is the mirror to help us see what we cannot see in ourselves. Scripture helps us to see. Because we are all leaders, we should know we're going to have so many people under us. How we treat everyone has a lot to do with how we're going to make an advancement in our Christian consciousness. We shouldn't think that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Now I'm in a position I can do what I like. We should not be in that kind of consciousness, because whatever we do has a result. Everything we do has a result. Whatever we think, of course, in Kali Yuga, it will not manifest immediately, but it will certainly manifest in the future. Therefore, we should be very, very careful about how we think, or what we think. We should be careful about that. Suniti continued. Suniti said, my dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi is so. Because the king, your father, does not consider me his wife or even his maidservant. He feels ashamed to accept me. Therefore, it is a fact that you have taken birth from the womb of an unfortunate woman. And by being fed from her breast, you have grown up to become also unfortunate son. Although I just an unfortunate son, neither his mother. They're all very fortunate. If you are not fortunate, you cannot have a fortunate son like Dhruva. It is a great fortune to have a son like Dhruva. My dear boy, whatever has been spoken by Suruchi, your stepmother, although very harsh to hear, is factual. Therefore, if you desire at all to sit on the same throne as your stepmother and stepbrother, Utan, then give up your envious attitude and immediately try to execute the instructions of your stepmother. Without further delay, you must engage yourself in worshipping the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the wisdom also from Suniti. Suruchi said, you should go and perform austerity to Lord Vishnu so you can take birth in my womb. That is negative. Dhruva Maharaj performed austerity not to take birth in her womb. He performed austerity to please Lord Krishna so that he will have something which is not in this world. Dhruva Maharaj's desire was not to do austerity to get something in this world. He said, I want the position superior to my father, Tonapad, and grandfather means Brahma. So what is he looking for? Something outside the material world. It looked material, but his desire was not material. Something outside the material world is not material, it's spiritual. I want something not in this material world. That is not cheap. So he wanted something superior. Of course, this is the benefit of harsh words. It depends on how we accept things. Lotus flower would have offered him this opportunity. No. Harsh words afforded him this opportunity to desire to fulfill the instruction which is given to him by his stepmother and his mother. They have given him two instructions. So Suniti confirmed what your stepmother said, it is factual, truth. That's factual. You should do it. Do not delay. Don't waste your time. You should just go for it. To worship the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of God. This is the instruction given by Suniti. Harsh word. The harsh words used by Suruchi to her stepson were true, because unless one is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one cannot achieve any success in life. Man proposes, God disposes. Suniti, the mother of Dhruva Maharaj, agreed with her co-wife's advice that Dhruva Maharaj engaged himself in the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Dhruva Maharaj is fortunate. His mother did not stop him from Krishna consciousness. Like some of us, our mother will refuse. Don't be a devotee. One devotee, his mother told him, I don't want to see you with saffron until I die. Dhruva Maharaj is very fortunate. His mother didn't tell him that. His mother said, go. It's a fortune. Go. Immediately. Don't delay. Do not look at the harsh words negatively. Take it positively. This is the way a devotee should behave. Every negative thing should be made positive. This is a way of advancement. Make every negative things positive, and every positive things more positive. Thank you. That's advancement in Krishna consciousness. So it depends on us how we eh, relate with everything that happens to us, or how we respond to every situation. Arjuna was asking Krishna about this in Bhagavad Gita. What is the response of a Stita Pragya? How does he respond to situations? Harsh words. How does he respond to harsh words? He killed a person? Krishna said, no, he will not kill the person. He will do like Dhruva Maharaj. He responds like Dhruva Maharaj. It is not because Dhruva Maharaj is a small boy, he cannot fight with his stepmother. Even if he cannot fight with him, but at least he can show the anger towards him. He didn't show the anger towards her. Neither his father. But he went to go and meet his mother. Who is his sadhu, sadhvi, like sadhvi. A person to give, to encourage one to become a devotee. That's a devotee. A devotee will encourage everyone to become devotee like him. Like her. That's a devotee. A devotee cannot discourage anyone from worshipping Lord Vishnu. A devotee encourages everyone to take to Krishna consciousness because they know that is our problem. So Suniti encouraged her son. Go to Lord Vishnu, just follow as your stepmother said. Suniti continued. The supreme personality of Godhead is so great that simply by worshipping the lotus feet, your great grandfather, Lord Brahma, acquired the necessary qualifications to create this universe. That is true. It is from second canto. When Lord Brahma appeared, he was completely impotent. He had no knowledge, nothing. He doesn't know what to do. But when he got the blessing of Lord Krishna, the thing which he couldn't see, which he couldn't do, he couldn't understand, became very, very easy for him to understand. So Brahma got a Veda revealed to him by Lord Krishna. Because he surrendered to Lord Krishna, he got everything completely. So Suniti, she did the Bhakti Bible. Suniti, how does he get to know this? How does he get this philosophy she's speaking to her son? By hearing. Very good. From sadhus. Say, you say. Vedic culture is very, very good. That's the importance of Vedic culture. There is a facility for people to hear about Krishna from sadhus who visit the Narada Muni, the Guru. He goes to the kings and speak about Krishna. So they hear, they have the chance to hear. They visit the great kings at the Muni. He's also going to come afterwards. So this is not his first time of coming. That's his business to go around and distribute Krishna. So she heard from the scriptures, he heard. Bhargita, Lord Krishna said, some people they practice this knowledge. And Krishna glorifies some other people. Who are those? There are some who did not study the scripture there. They simply had authority. They also have the chance to attend the Supreme. The hearing, they attend the Supreme. So Suniti had from sadhus who were frequenting the kingdom. And she is passing it on. So she's a guru. She's a guru. She's a guru for Dhruva Maharaj. Although he is unborn and is the chief of all living creatures, he is situated in that exalted post because of the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whom even great yogis worship by controlling the mind and regulating the life prana. So Suniti is saying, as Lord Brahma was enlightened, blessed, and fulfill his desire by worshipping Krishna, you should go and get him also. So Krishna is not partial. He would do the same thing. After all, Krishna told Lord Brahma, the austerity you have done now, anyone who would after you do the same austerity, he has automatic blessing which I'm giving to you. So Suniti is aware. She's aware. You go. What happened to Brahma and others, you also become your experience. This is Krishna consciousness. Krishna has been fulfilling everyone's desires since time immemorial. So Suniti has confidence in Krishna. She has confidence. And Krishna will fulfill the desire. If Dhruva Maharaj could do the same thing, what happened to Brahma and others, he also becomes his experience. She has faith. So we should have faith in the instruction of sadhus. We should have faith in Krishna. Even if you would think that Krishna does not favor me, that's okay. That's okay. But we should have faith there that he will also fulfill my desires if I follow in the footsteps. Krishna told Arjuna Bhagavad, in the past, people followed these instructions I'm giving to you. They became successful. So also, we should follow this and become successful like them. Krishna is giving history. So that we can know that this is not just an experimental situation. It's already approved. Krishna consciousness, there's no more experiment. We simply have to follow. And everything will fall in place. Everything will fall in place naturally, as it should be. So Suniti has faith that for Krishna will fulfill the desire. Those who approach him, Krishna will fulfill the desire. Either it is material or spiritual, Krishna will fulfill the desire. So she gave this instruction. Although Lord Brahma is also a living being by his penance and austerity, he acquired the exalted position of creator of this universe by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. To become successful in any attempt, one not only has to undergo severe penances and austerities, but also must be dependent on the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This indication had been given to Dhruva Maharaj by his stepmother and was now confirmed by his own mother's unity. Not only the strength of austerity that is sufficient, Krishna's mercies will come in. Of course, we need the two. For the mercy of Krishna to come, we need to make an endeavor. We should make an endeavor. That endeavor will attract Krishna's mercy. Suniti informed her son, their grandfather Swayambhu Ramanu executed great sacrifices with this devotion of charity, and thereby, with unflinching faith and devotion, he worshipped and satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By acting in that way, he achieved the greatest success in material happiness and afterwards achieved liberation, which is impossible to obtain by worshipping the demigods. That which is impossible to obtain from any other source is also mentioned here. Other source refers to worship the demigod. It is especially stressed here that the opulence of Manu was due to his undeviating faithfulness in the transcendental service of the Lord. Undeviating faithfulness. One who diverts his mind to worshipping many demigods to obtain material happiness is considered bereft of intelligence, foolish. If anyone wants even material happiness, he can worship the Supreme Lord without deviation. And persons who are desirous of liberation can also worship the Supreme Lord and achieve their goal of life. Undeviating faithfulness is required in success in Krishna consciousness. We should always have the faith that the Supreme Personality of Godhead knows us completely and He will do what is necessary for us. Krishna will always do what is necessary for us, for our success in Krishna consciousness. This faith we should maintain and patiently wait for that to happen. It doesn't matter how long it will take us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appreciated Mukunda for that. He told Mukunda 10 million birds. You get people of about 10 million. After 10 million birds, you get it. He started to dance. We were dancing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called him, he didn't hear because he was in ecstasy. I will get. Just that I will get. It doesn't matter how long it will take. What is 10 million birds? You cannot compare people of God to 10 million. What is 10 million? That is nonsense. That is nothing. You were dancing. Chaitanya was calling here. He couldn't hear. He was calling. Shiva has to go and grab him by the waist and drag him to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's place. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, so you have faith in my words. Take it. Take it. What was 10 million bird became moment because undeviating faith. That faith, that complete trust in Krishna will make our Krishna consciousness a success very, very soon, faster than before, than what it's supposed to take. Chaitanya was so happy, was very, very happy with him. You believe my word. You have faith in what I say. So you are not worried about how long it will take you. I don't care how long it will take you. But the only thing I know is that I will get it. That's all. Since I can get it, and you say the Christian is not a bluffer, because he promised what he has. He has been given, he has given so many people. So he promised he will give me. That means he will give me. He was faithful. And Chaitanya gave it to him immediately. Yes. Papa said in the book, everyone can continue in his constitutional occupational duties and at the same time keep the Supreme Personality of God within his heart. This was also instructed by the Lord himself to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita. Go on fighting, but keep me within your mind. That should be the motto of every honest person seeking perfection in Krishna consciousness. The motto, what is that? We should go on fighting. Always thinking within the mind. Krishna will take care of me. Krishna will help me. He's already taken. This is the motto of this should be the motto of every honest person seeking perfection in Krishna consciousness. You came to me crying, having been insulted by your stepmother, but I am able to do any good for you. But Krishna is so kind to his devotees that if you go to him, then the combined kindness of millions of mothers like he will be surpassed by his affectionate and tender dealings. When everyone else fails to mitigate one's misery, Krishna is able to help the devotee. So Krishna, Suniti is telling Dhruva Maharaj, it is Krishna who will fulfill your desires, not me. You came to me, but it is not me who will help you. It is Krishna who will fulfill it. But I can help you to advise you to go to Krishna. I'm advising you to go to Krishna. Queen Suniti also indicated by her instruction that Dhruva Maharaj was only a small child, 5 years old, and it was not possible for him to purify himself by the way of karma kanda, but by the process of bhakti yoga. Even a child less than 5 years old or any age can be purified. That is the special significance of bhakti yoga. Therefore, she advised him not to accept worship of the demigods or any other process, but simply to take to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the result will be all perfection. As soon as one places the Supreme Personality of Godhead within one's heart, everything becomes easy and successful. Everything becomes easy and successful. The moment place Krishna in the heart, everything becomes different. The moment there is a contact between us and Krishna, everything will change automatically. Everything. Everything. We saw Kubja. The moment he came to Krishna, what happens? He became a beautiful girl. Beautiful. Prabhupada said, these American boys and girls, looking dirty, coming to Krishna, they have become beautiful, beautiful, shining, shining. Native devotion also. The moment he went to the hellish planet, what happened? He released all of them, change all of them, transform all of them by his presence. Once you come in contact with pure devotees of Krishna, everything is completely different. Completely different. This is a very powerful instruction. This is teacher. Suniti is a powerful devotee. The teacher. Look at the instructions he's giving to us. Perfect. Scriptural. Direct to the point. Don't come to me, go to Krishna. Only Krishna can do that for you. And she is very confident. She's very, very confident. And she's transferred that confidence to her son. Our preaching will be effective when people were preaching to see the confidence we have in what we are doing. If you don't have confidence in what, if you don't have confidence in what we're doing, we're talking to somebody, they will not believe. Because our faithlessness will be transferred to the people we are speaking to. You may not see it, but it is going to the people. If we are very faithful in what we do, whatever we speak to people would affect the people. They will be able to see that this person believes in what he's doing, and they will follow. Suniti is very, very confident in Krishna. She is transferring her confidence to her son. Just like Srila Prabhupada is very, very confident in what he gave to us. And he told many times, if you stick to this process, your success in Krishna consciousness is guaranteed. Stick to this process. He didn't say you look here and there. Suniti didn't tell Dhruva Maharaj, you can go to any demigod, go to that demigod. In fact, she started from Brahma. In other words, she's telling Dhruva Maharaj, Brahma, not other demigod. The Brahma, the king, the master of all the demigods. He didn't approach any person. He went to Krishna himself and he got everything. So don't waste our time with other demigods under Brahma. Go to the one who is above all, Lord Krishna. That confidence he has, as he transferred it to her son. And Dhruva Maharaj was affected. He was affected by this. He's affected by the confidence of his mother. Suniti pointed out herewith that the benediction received from the Supreme Personality of Godhead and that received from the demigods are not on an equal level. Permanent benediction is spiritual benediction. Since a spirit soul is eternal, it is also said in Bhagavad Gita that only persons who have lost their intelligence go to worship the demigods. Therefore, Suniti told her son that he should not seek the mercy of the demigods, but should directly approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anyone, therefore, who takes to the worship of the Supreme Lord automatically receives the blessings of the Goddess of Fortune. At this stage of his life, Dhruva Maharaj was seeking material opulences, and his mother advised rightly that even for material opulences, it is better to worship not the demigods, but the Supreme Lord. Suniti, the mother of Dhruva, was a far-seeing woman, and therefore she advised her son to worship the Supreme Lord and no one else. The Lord is described herein as lotus-eyed, Padma Palasa Lochanat. When a person is fatigued, if he sees a lotus flower, all his fatigue can be immediately reduced to nil. Similarly, when an aggrieved person sees the lotus face of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, immediately all his grief is reduced. A lotus flower is also an insignia in the hand of Lord Vishnu, as well as in the hand of the Goddess of Fortune. The worshippers of the demigods of the Goddess of Fortune and Lord Vishnu together are certainly very opulent in all respects, even in material life. The Lord is sometimes described as Shiva Virinchi Nutam, which means that Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma also offer their respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana. Now, Suniti has given her powerful instruction, advice, and ignited the fire of Bhakti in Dhruva Maharaj. He sparked the fire of Bhakti in Dhruva. So how did Dhruva Maharaj react? How did he respond to that? In the next verse. The gracious Maitreya continued. The instruction of Dhruva Maharaj's mother, Suniti, was actually meant for fulfilling his desired objective. Therefore, after deliberated consideration and what? Intelligence and fixed determination. What did he do? He left his father's house. How did he leave the house? How did he leave the house? He's going to the forest. How did he leave the house? He deliberated fully on the instruction given to him by his mother. After digesting everything and fully convinced, what did he do? Intelligence and fixed determination. That's how he left the house. That means what? What does it mean? Fixed determination means what? Hmm? He determined to achieve the goal. Yes. What else? He will not be affected by obstacles. Very good. Yes, that is the potency, the mystic power and determination. Yes. What else? No distraction. Very good. Yes. Hmm? He's convinced about the purpose. Yes. You say something? Is single pointed. Yes. I will not come back in here until I get my desire fulfilled. I will never come back here. But I achieve my goal, close the door to the Father's kingdom. I will never come back here until I get it. This is Dhruva Maharaj. Whatever happens, I will never come back here without achieving the goal. Until I get the goal, I will not come back here. This house does not belong to me any longer. This is determination. This intelligence. He did not just cheaply hear flattering words and say, okay, let me go and try. If I succeed, I will take it. If I don't succeed, I will return back. No problem. Determined. Determined. Proper said in the purport. Both the mother and the son were lamenting Dhruva Maharaj having been insulted by his stepmother and his fathers not having taken up any step on this issue. But mere lamentation is useless. So devotees should not lament. We should do what? Find a solution, not lamentation. Lamentation will weaken us from using our intelligence properly. So, no lamentation. Look for the solution. As a devotee, if one continues to lament, oh, that is not there, this is not there, this has happened, that has happened, this has not happened, this is. Will it solve the problem? The problem will continue. So, an intelligent person should just stand up and do the right thing. My spiritual master said, don't curse the darkness, light the candle. Make sense? Don't curse the darkness. Darkness. Don't curse it. Light the candle. Put on the light. Darkness will disappear. That's intelligence. Sitting down to lament will not solve any problem. Do something. In other words, lamentation is for a lazy person who cannot achieve anything. That's lamentation. So Krishna condemned lamentation, mundane lamentation. This lamentation is spiritual prema lamentation. That's a different thing. We're talking about mundane lamentation. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. A devotee should not lament. Mere lamentation is useless. One should find out the means to mitigate one's lamentation. That's all. Thus, both the mother and son decided to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, because that is the only solution to all material problems and also spiritual problems. It is indicated in this connection that Dhruva Maharaj left his father's capital city to go to a secluded place to search out the supreme personality of Godhead. It is the instruction of Prahlad Maharaj also that if one is seeking peace of mind, he should free himself from all contamination of family life and take shelter of the supreme Godhead by going to the forest, to the Gaudiya Vaishnava. This forest is the forest of Vrindavan or Vrindavan. If one takes shelter of Vrindavan under Vrindavaneshwari, Srimati Radharani, certainly all the problems of life are solved very easily. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. You can take break. Okay.